All right, guys, welcome to episode number 17 of the Browns Plays podcast. I'm Jeremy,
I'm Ryan.
and let's get right into it. Get right into NBA playoffs, shall
Yeah,
we?
what a playoffs. Yeah.
Wow. So two teams, both teams 2-0.
Yep.
So
Right now.
Boston and Indiana. What are you thinking if Halliburton isn't playing?
Oh, if he's not playing, it's over. Yeah.
So I think it said that he was going to be out for game 3.
Is that what they said? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's over then.
So I
It
mean,
was already
even
kind of over, but now it's really over. Yeah.
yeah, but I got some issues with that team.
Which one?
Indiana.
What about him?
Um, well, I don't want to say because it kind of goes to the other segment at the end.
Hmm.
But I think, let's just say, I think they need a veteran point guard or veterans forward or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
It's
they
a
kind of
young,
have one.
it's a young team.
Yeah.
They made some mistakes. So,
Yep.
um, yeah. I mean, Boston 2-0 going
Yeah.
to
I mean,
Indiana.
minus
I mean,
game one was incredible. Game two wasn't
yeah,
that good, but
yeah. So, and then just now, Dallas and Minnesota.
yeah, what a
Luca,
series. Yeah, cold,
big
cold.
three. Oh,
You know, listen, people really need to start kind of talking about Luca possibly being the best player in the league because he's doing it on a bum knee and he's balling, man. He's just balling.
is that team? I mean, is that a 5 seed team or is that just
Well,
how it
remember,
played
because
out?
they struggled until the trade deadline, and then once the trade deadline happened, that's when because they were a bubble team or a not bubble team, playing team until they made those trades, which kind of changed everything for them. Um, so
Because I mean, Minnesota, you figure you sweep Phoenix, you take down the big dog.
yeah,
Goes to game 7, but you still take them down.
yeah,
And now I mean, they got it. They had to have been favored, right?
yeah, they definitely were.
Versus so. But losing two at home, that's just,
Yeah.
I mean, now that makes a game 3 a must win, and you're on the
Oh
road,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. Of course, yeah. Definitely a
Um,
must win.
so I think both teams would have been good with split.
Yeah,
Obviously Dallas definitely wanted to split. They didn't want to lose two and then have to go home and win one. But
yeah.
yeah, that's oh man,
What a series.
yeah, that's a
Those
good
those games
series.
are those games are neck and neck. So
Oh
I don't think
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
over. It's definitely not over in my opinion.
Well,
Because
Minnesota was up too this game by what?
yeah, they
What
were
was the
up
biggest
big.
lead? Like
It's
12,
like 18
14?
or something like that.
Yeah,
I think it was
18. So
huge. I
yeah.
think so. Yeah, it was huge.
So I mean, just get it down to 12, get it below 10, and just start chipping away. But man,
And Luka and Kyrie,
Dallas,
man. I mean, they'll take it over. They'll
that's
take
a
it over and
that's
they'll
a
kill you.
that's a big two. Is that two better than a LeBron and AD? Can you compare the two?
Well,
One's
they're
a point
different.
guard and one's a
Yeah, they're different.
power forward, I guess.
Yeah, they're different. I think. I would maybe say they're better. I think overall that team's probably better, obviously, because they're at this stage and the Lakers aren't. Um, but I
I
would
think that
say,
team is better just because it's got a mix of veterans and young guys.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
And then you have guys that can close the game out,
right?
um, better than probably anyone else.
And that's what
Uh,
Indiana doesn't have.
well,
Boston
they
has.
should
I mean,
have,
because they
but
got
it's not
they got
happening. Yeah,
Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum.
yeah.
So I mean, you're gonna have those two guys, but I just don't see Indiana having that go-to veteran presence guy who's
Well,
gonna calm everyone down.
it should be Siakam. He's won before. He knows what it takes. He's supposed to be. That's who they traded for him. He's
Okay,
supposed to
but
be the guy. But I mean, they're
I
going
don't
against a
know.
juggernaut too, though. I mean, Boston,
Yeah.
best team in the league, best starting five in the
So
league. But
so Dallas. I mean, do you see Minnesota coming back, or do you see this one being over,
no,
or
I
do
don't see
you
it
see it
being
going
over.
7?
I think I can definitely see this going seven. Because
As
same way
close as
that
these games were,
yeah,
you
because the
know.
same way
Yeah,
that Dallas marched in and took some from the Wolves, Wolves can very well do that same exact thing. Mind
yeah,
you, this is with Anthony Edwards. He's not playing good at all.
no,
These last two games, he's not playing good at all. So,
he left it
you
all
know,
in
if,
Denver.
yeah. So if he goes and he does what he does, then, that could change everything. So, no, I could definitely see this going game seven. I don't think it's over at all.
Yeah, no, I think I definitely see it going seven.
Yeah.
Um,
I hope it does, because this is really our finals matchup, in my opinion. I don't see
so who do you think? So if you were to predict a final right now, who do you see
If I had to predict a final, I would probably say
out of the
Boston,
four
obviously.
teams?
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
probably say Boston, and I would maybe, I might still take Minnesota.
Okay,
I might
and
still take
then
Minnesota. It's close, but I think I would
who
probably
wins
take
out
them.
of that? Who wins out of the Boston Minnesota?
I think whoever wins out of the West is between these two teams will win
I
it all.
and that's what my and that's where I was kind of going towards is that I think whether it be Minnesota or Dallas, I
Yeah.
think they still beat Boston.
Yeah, because both of these teams are way deeper than Boston's team.
And
And when it
Boston is
comes
a
down to
jump
that,
shooting team, and if they,
if their
those
offense
jumpers aren't
sucks, it's
going,
over.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. To
But they're great
where
defensively, where
to
you can keep them
where
in
both
games,
of the
but
teams on the
so
West can go inside and just pound them down in the paint. So
yeah,
um, yeah, it's I think the Boston and Indiana, both of them are pretty identical. I think they're both high shooting teams, and if your offense isn't doing it, then you're screwed. So
yeah. I
um,
think the difference is that like Boston, they're so good defensively. That starting
yeah,
five is so clean defensively,
yeah.
where Pacers haven't been that good. They've been better these playoffs, but overall, not very good.
So yeah, I agree. I think whoever comes out of the West,
Yeah,
not to knock Boston because Boston's a good team. It's just I don't know. The two teams in the West right now look pretty tough.
yeah,
So
I agree.
what about Celtics firing their coach Bernie Bickerstaff?
Caps firing their coach,
Cavs cut
JB.
or JB, yeah.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, we kind of saw it coming. He had some
You get
questionable
them to the
calls.
playoffs
Yeah,
again,
but they were questionable decisions. I don't know if I agree with it because I mean, think of all the injuries they had in that
and
Boston
that's kind of
series.
like my whole point. And then again, and then I saw something today saying, "Oh, we want to go a different direction." Okay, what direction? You just made it to the playoff.
Yeah,
What direction are you wanting to go? I
yeah,
mean, he got dealt what he dealt, and you know he played his
yeah,
cards. Maybe
yeah,
maybe all hands weren't on board, but I mean, you got to the playoffs.
yeah. Got to the playoffs, beat the Magic in a game
Yeah,
seven. I think that was the big issue was why did you go 7 games against the Magic
the
when
Magic are a good
they were the
young
better
team,
team?
though.
Magic are a damn good young team, but I think on paper everybody was viewing the Cavs as the superior team to the Magic.
Oh, I
With
don't know about that.
well, visually they weren't, not by much, but
Yeah,
I
I
think if
mean,
you looked at it just pre-series, you were probably viewing it as Cavs should win out of this probably six, 5 or 6. Should have been
mm,
going to a game seven and almost losing. But yeah, it's questionable. I don't know. I don't know if I would have agreed with it. Kind of,
what are you going to get that's better in what
yeah,
direction you're trying to go to? What direction are you going to?
yeah,
You know,
yeah. I don't know.
I just
That's the thing.
again, I don't understand that one.
Yeah, a little questionable to me too, but I
So
wasn't surprised at all.
yeah, so both series 2-0, 2-0. So yeah, I mean, definitely like Boston, Indiana, maybe 5, 6 games, maybe total.
Mm,
Maybe
I,
you see a sweep.
six is pushing it. Yeah, I could see a sweep right now.
Hmm.
Um, you go to Boston, you don't expect to win. They lost 5 games, I think, all year in Boston, so you don't really expect to win there. But just after losing that first game. when it was in the
Yeah,
bag was so big. And now Boston just blew them out pretty much last game.
yeah.
And now Jalen
Oh,
Brown and Jason
I
Tatum are
think
going.
they were totally defeated after that first loss. And second
Yeah.
game, they didn't, yeah.
And now you have the
So
two big dogs going right now. What if KP comes back during the series too? That could be that could be game over. So I do think it's over.
is
I'd probably
Porzingis
say
supposed to
five.
come back?
They're saying game four that he's
Oh,
coming back.
really?
Maybe, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but why? Why not just rest him until you can get to the finals?
Well, I think if you
I
if you
mean,
go up 3-0, they you might just save him.
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Even if you
I think it was
don't,
close.
I don't know. I mean, if you go 5 games, it's just why just give them those extra few days to get better
Yeah.
for the finals. You're gonna
Get
need them
ready
in
for
the
the finals.
finals. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're
So
definitely gonna need him. Yeah.
yeah, good NBA. What about WNBA? Have you watched any WNBA?
Game is on right now. I was watching the Sparks Fever game right
Sparks and
now.
Fever on
Um,
right now. Yeah,
yeah.
Indiana trying to get their first win, 0-5.
Yeah.
Man, Caitlin Clark's not used to going 0-5.
No.
I mean, their
She's definitely not.
senior year, she lost 5 games total.
Yeah. And I love her, but at a certain point, you got to start winning ball games. You're judged
Yeah,
on
I
winning,
mean,
you know?
her stats aren't. I mean, she had 10 rebounds when I just looked before when we started recording. She had 10 rebounds, but only 5 points. So I don't know if she
Yeah.
scored any more points now. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean,
You're 5 games in the season, you're still going. You're
yeah, I
still
mean, you're
getting
still getting
adjusted.
into the
So,
flow. I mean, none of. I
yeah.
mean, but I
I'm
mean,
not
I
saying
don't know.
she's no bust or anything, but you
I
got to
don't.
start winning games.
No, 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 no. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say she's. But that offense doesn't. I don't know if it caters to her because she's used to being like the center of it and kind of,
Right.
everything around her. Where I don't know that. I mean, and that's what I was worried about is if she goes to a team that isn't like her pace or her style,
Hmm.
what will that do with, her play?
But
Because
this is
and
where,
then she's also getting manhandled too. I mean, she is getting roughed up.
yeah, this is
I
another
mean,
thing.
you're
I mean, she
talking
was,
bigger, faster, physical. I mean, she's
yeah,
not getting the calls, you
no.
know, and they're grabbing, they're bumping. I mean, you know, they're laying on her. You know,
Oh, yeah.
they're not giving her any space to, get away or dribble around or
No.
anything. Every
And they
shot she's had to take, she's had to work for.
and they shouldn't. This is WNBA. You gotta
Yeah, yeah,
you
no,
gotta prove
definitely.
yourself. You gotta
So
make that adjustment. And I think she will. I think she'll be fine.
yeah,
But
yeah.
um, yeah, whether the system appeals to her play or not,
Oh, she just
uh,
hit a big logo three.
is she? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
whether the system appeals to her play or not, her style or anything, that is all part of adjusting. To the league.
Yeah, but is that the league or her adjusting or is that the coaching style or is it the team?
It's
It
everything.
can't it can't be
It's
just
everything.
her. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, 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 no. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
she's got to do what she's got to do. But
yeah.
it's everything.
But she's also, I mean, she's fouling a lot too. She's getting in foul
Yeah,
trouble. So I mean,
yeah,
she's definitely, and that's what they said, when coming out of Iowa is like you're gonna have to play defense in the WNBA, you
yeah,
know. And I think she's learning that now is like,
yeah. They're bigger, they're
one,
faster, stronger.
you're not
Yeah,
getting the calls and you got to play defense.
yeah. These
So,
are grown women. These aren't
yeah,
these aren't college kids. So you
yeah.
got to play.
And
I
hopefully
think she'll be
that's what
fine.
maybe Diana Taurasi was kind of saying about, you know,
I
there's
do
a
think.
transition. I just
Yeah,
think the
she
way
didn't
she
word it
worded
great.
it,
Yeah, she did
right.
not word it
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But I do think I think looking back, that's exactly what she means. And even
Yeah.
when she followed up her comments, where she's saying she's a great player, but blah blah
But
blah.
you already threw it out there as
Yeah,
it being negative and
you
it's
already
just
kind of
that.
trashed her,
Yeah.
which is not the
Yeah.
way that you're supposed to be going about it. But
Yeah.
there's a whole thing about it. But I think she'll be fine. But you got to start winning ball games too. You
Yeah,
drafted
no,
first
definitely.
overall.
I mean, you've had the
You know,
first two picks last
yeah,
2 years, with Aaliyah Boston and her now. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
you gotta win some games. You can't be
yeah,
going 0-40. So,
exactly.
um, but I mean, attendance off the record. I mean, 17,000 at home. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a NBA pack, stadium right there. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, it's not even just attendance. I mean, it's on
it's just,
TV, it's on social media.
oh
It's just,
yeah, yeah.
it's
And
everybody's
then
talking about it.
yeah, the only thing I would say, which is, and I kind of, well, I'll leave that segment to I'll leave that one to the end. What do you think about the Las Vegas tourism thing where they're sponsoring the Aces players? Did you hear about that?
I don't think I did. No.
So Las Vegas tourism and something, whatever the title is. It's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much like the city of Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So for this year and next year, they're sponsoring each one of the players for the Aces and
Mm-hmm.
giving them $100,000.
Oh, that's great, right?
That is great,
Yeah.
but everyone's all pissed off about it because one, they want to do an investigation, but this wasn't Las Vegas tourism and the Las Vegas Aces. It
Right.
was the tourist, division sponsoring each player. So it
Right.
was kind of like, you get money from other people, right? So it was the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. So, but then people are saying like, oh, does that give, Las Vegas the advantage because more people will want to go there to play because, they can get that extra money, or, does it give them an advantage? Gives them the edge.
Well,
So,
they're also the two-time defending champions, so
well, that's
maybe that's
hey, and I'm all for it. I mean, that's because
yeah.
what are those girls doing for that city? You're
Yeah, that's
backing out
their
the
only
stadium,
professional. Well, that and hockey are their only professional
right?
sports.
And
So,
well, football, NFL.
and NFL, yeah, I
Well,
guess. So
I guess
there's a lot
I
there
guess
too.
yeah, I guess aces,
Yeah,
aces and hockey. I guess is pretty
aces
much
and hockey is what you're
so.
looking at.
But yeah, kudos for them to say, hey, you guys are bringing in all this revenue and all this stuff to the city. We're paying you back.
Yeah,
I'm all for it. You know, I think
yeah,
other cities should do the same. You know,
yeah.
but for like a Kate Martin who's only making like 67,000 on her annual salary, boom,
Hmm.
$100,000 bump. You know,
Yeah, good for them.
Asia Wilson and Kelsey Plum, boom, $100,000. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, the tourism board. I forgot what the whole title is, but yeah. So for this year and next year, they're giving each player $100,000.
you should
So
always be rewarded for winning.
yeah,
If you're winning, you should be rewarded.
and
Simple as that.
I just think it promotes the women too, promotes the game too, and I think it's the city putting their money where their mouth is, kind of
Yeah,
backing them up. So yeah, I'm all for it. What about the NCAA saying that you can pay players now,
yeah, it's big. Good. Finally,
which is
first of all.
finally because like Zach Edey, right, from Purdue, he
Hmm.
couldn't get any NIL deals
Right.
because he was, I think, because he wasn't a
Yeah,
actual resident or something or
yeah, yeah,
a
something like
citizen
that.
because he was
Hmm.
out of Canada. So I think he was like on
Hmm.
a student visa, so he
Hmm.
wasn't eligible for any NIL deals.
Yeah.
You got the two-time player of the year not being able to cash out on anything,
Yeah, projected
and
first
how
round draft pick
yeah,
not
yeah, and how
getting to
much
get
money has he
paid.
brought into that facility or that
Program. Yeah.
school and the program? Yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean, good. Yeah, it's about time. Good for them. I think
It
that
should it always should have been like that, man. It
yeah,
should have always
yeah.
been like that.
So I think the NIL deals was the step, but then I think this had to be the NCAA. I mean, as much as they're making, as much as those schools are making off the players,
So much. Yeah.
gi- give it back. I mean, I get it. Some people are going to say, oh, they're getting a free scholarship or, free education and blah, blah, blah. But, well, one, I mean, how many of them are graduating for the men, like on the men's side, right?
Right. Exactly.
So, you know, um, even like if it's baseball or even well, football, you have to stay all four, right?
No, I think it's three.
Is it three?
Hmm.
Um, so women's basketball, you got to stay all four. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, it's not like you're getting a full education because as soon as they can, they're bouncing out, right? Going pro if they
Exactly.
can.
Yeah.
So,
Which is their
but
choice, in
yeah, no,
fairness. It is their choice.
totally their choice. But
But
yeah,
also,
I just think
these,
they need to get paid. I mean, some
yeah,
of these students that go, they can't afford, you know, apartments, or they can't afford,
yeah,
food and all this other stuff. I mean, you can't
for
expect
sure.
them to, you know, go to school, play sports, and get a job.
Yeah.
Something's
Well,
gonna,
there's a
you
lot
know,
of kids that are playing that aren't going to get drafted
yeah, yeah,
to play pro
yeah,
sports.
yeah,
So this is their last time to play, and they're still playing, and they should be
yeah,
rewarded for that
yeah,
because they're not
no,
living
definitely,
normal college lives. They're practicing, they're playing
yeah,
nonstop. So, good for them.
yeah, no, good for them. So is that, you think that would take away from like the G League? People jump into the G League?
No, because that's still pro ball. I mean, you're still playing professional sports, and that gives
So
you an opportunity to go play pro sports too.
you think people would still kind of weigh the two and say,
Yeah,
I'll go play G League. That way I don't have to worry about school or anything
yeah.
else, and I can just play
Plus, you're going
basketball.
straight to a professional
Yeah.
association. Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. But the thing that I'm curious about is, will one and dones come down now? I don't think so because if you have a chance to go to the league, you're going to the league, right? Um,
But
but now
what
that,
do you, I mean, we kind of talked about that before.
you're
What do
getting
you think
paid,
about the one and dones?
I'm for it. If you have a chance to do it, you should do it.
But
Um,
why is it, but my thing is like, why is it different versus every sport or every gender sport
yeah, that's
too?
what I think is like it should be all around. Like everybody should
Right.
have a chance to go one and done.
If you're going to be one and done, it should be basketball, track, football,
I
what
don't know about
swimming,
football just
whatever,
because
you know?
there's not a ton of freshmen that are starting when they play football. So I can understand no one and done in football. Um, and there's so many
Yeah, but
guys
like
on the
the bench
team.
players aren't going one and done
No, of
on the
course not.
basketball
But
team. So I
but
mean,
think about how many guys who were freshmen and didn't start, and then their sophomore year, junior year, turned into first round draft picks kind of thing.
yeah,
So football I can understand, but baseball, there's freshmen out there that are balling out, and
yeah. I mean,
they
they
go.
can still get drafted out of high school. So I mean, yeah,
Yeah. So if you can get
yeah,
drafted out of high school, why can't you go one and done? I've never really
yeah.
understood that one.
So no, and then I just don't like where like the college basketball guys one and done, but the girls have to stay for four.
Yeah, no, that
It's
should be the
just
same too.
yeah. Yeah, it's. I think there should be a blanket rule of it's either all four or one and done.
Yeah, for sure. I
Make it the
agree.
same. But yeah, kudos to NCAA for making that happen.
Yeah.
Um, WNBA, we talked about that. Aces. Man, I watched a couple of those games. That's a good team, man.
Aces? Yeah, then no
Yeah,
kidding. I think they're okay.
yeah,
They're
that's a
not
pretty
bad.
good team.
Yeah.
Um, and Sky, I mean, Angel Reese, she's balling it. She's
She
doing her
is.
thing. So yeah, good
She
for
surely
her.
damn
I
is. She's
mean,
balling out,
yeah,
man.
good for
She's
her.
balling out. She's proven a lot of people wrong. She gets a
Yeah,
lot. I mean, her
she
and
still
Caitlin
gets a
Clark.
lot of
I
hate.
don't know between those two who gets more hate than those two. I
Well,
mean,
are you surprised how much hate Caitlin Clark is still getting though?
uh, yeah, but I'm starting to see it switch to be like, why are we getting asked so many damn questions about Caitlin Clark? Um, which I can understand because she's in the league now. Let her adjust, be in the league, do her thing. Why are we bombarding other teams and other players who aren't with her, aren't even playing against her yet with
Yeah, I
questions about
mean,
Caitlin Clark?
yeah, well, I
That
mean,
that's that would drive me crazy too.
yeah,
And I think people are starting to skew the line between is this hating, is this just being competitive too? I think you gotta
or is it
understand
being,
those
or is it
differences.
being petty?
Yeah, or whatever it is.
Isn't
So
that what Chuck said? Stop being petty.
yeah, Chuck said stop being petty, which is true. Stop being petty. But they're also professional athletes competing. So
Yeah.
there's a fine line between those. But people are really hating on Angel Reese too.
Well,
She's gotten it for a while, but
yeah, she got it out of college, and it was just,
yeah,
and we talked about this before when they won that championship. I
yeah,
didn't mind the gesture. It was just the demeanor and the way she was doing it is
yeah.
what bothered me. You because
I
Caitlin
mean,
Clark didn't do that to Van Lith. She did
no,
it towards the
yeah,
bench and her coach. So it
yeah,
wasn't like she stood in front of Haley Van Lith and started doing it.
Well,
You
here's what
know,
I'll say is like
that's one thing. But
Caitlin Clark don't ever say anything to anybody. She she just plays her game, minds her business. She really is never, taunting anyone, kind of pressing up on anyone. She really just kind of plays her game. Which is why I don't understand the hate for her really at all.
I
Um,
think it's just pure jealousy and just
whereas
pettiness. Just
Yeah, whereas Angel Reese, she's competitive, she's fired up, and she goes after people.
yeah.
But I've always said if you back your play up, you say whatever you want to the other team. I don't
And
care.
she's doing it right now.
And
I
she's
mean,
backing it up.
and
Yeah.
she's doing it without her other twin tower too.
Yeah,
So
without Cardoso there, yeah.
yeah,
So she's doing it. She's
so
leading that team, so yeah, good for her. I have no problem
yeah.
with anybody talking.
Um, yeah, no, they both threw out the first pitch the other night at Wrigley. So yeah, no,
Hmm.
it's good for them. So I like to see it.
Yeah.
Um, what about Bronny
Yeah, good for him. You know?
showing up
Credits
in the
to
combine? Right? I get, is it combine
yeah.
or is it a
It's an NBA
draft?
combine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wasn't sure if that's what they call it. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Shows out,
but
you know?
don't forget. I mean, he's a 19-year-old kid.
Yeah, he's a
So
child.
yeah, I
He's
think
a
some
literal
people
child.
need to realize is that okay, yes, he's got the name to it,
Of
but
course.
again, he's a 19-year-old kid. What do
He's
you
a literal
expect
child.
from a kid out of high
With,
school, 1 year of college? I mean,
yeah,
you know,
half a year of college because he had a
yeah,
whole heart thing.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, no,
So so the hatred on him is, and I don't agree with it either. One, I don't
no,
think there should be any hatred at all. You should be rooting for
no.
the kid to succeed. So
Yeah,
again, I think that goes to pettiness and jealousy
exactly.
because I think people are like, oh, he's only in that situation because his dad's LeBron. You know,
Yeah, which is
there's
totally unfair.
yeah, I mean that's unfair to both of them. It's not fair
Yeah.
to LeBron. I mean, hey, my son's doing his thing, whatever.
Yeah, LeBron didn't raise
Um,
him that way. Yeah,
yeah.
no, for sure.
So, but yeah, no, the hatred on it is just it's pretty piss poor. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
But,
hopefully he gives everyone a big old shit burger to eat and you know goes in the top first round or something and it's
yeah.
big old fu to everyone and says, hey,
Well, this is the only time I'll compare the two without seeing Bronny actually play in the NBA, but he's handling it just how his dad did, you know?
yeah,
Dad had all the pressure in the world when he was coming up. Everybody hating on him when he was 18, and that was without social media. God knows what it would have been like if social media was around at that point. And he's handling it just like his dad. I'm sure his mom too raised him to handling it, going out there, taking care of business, going to work as hard as he can, and he's showing out. He's doing a damn good
yeah, but
job. So
it's not really that often that you have a caliber professional athlete and then their kids step up and take the same shoes.
yeah,
Right? Because I
for
mean,
sure.
look at Michael Jordan. He's got two
Right.
boys. Neither
Hmm.
one of them, Walter Payton, his son. He played a little in the NFL, but I mean, that was it. So I mean,
Right.
you know, you can't, just because it's LeBron doesn't mean that Bronny's going to be right there underneath them and the same
Yeah.
caliber. You know, Bronny's Bronny. Let him be Bronny.
Yeah,
You
they're
know,
gonna have different games. They're
yeah,
obviously different sizes, so just let him play. Let him
yeah.
figure it out. He'll be fine.
So, but yeah, no, good for him that he balled out though on it, so I think he
Yeah.
needed to. Um,
Yeah, I
just
mean all of those players do. If you're in the combine,
just
you need to play. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, just because what the points that he averaged just coming out of school and all that kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
think if you're gonna put your name in the draft, I think you gotta have a
Gotta
good
show out. Yeah,
combine.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You definitely gotta
yeah.
show out.
So
So
so good. LPGA. You got anything else about basketball? We good?
no, I think we're clear.
LPGA. Huh? Who won last week?
Yeah, surprise, surprise. I think she's all right.
Jesus.
Yeah. Is that seven
God.
now? Is that seven? Six?
No, six.
I think it's
Six.
six. Six. Six of
Jeez.
seven, right? Six of seven.
That
Yeah.
is just insane.
It's next level. It's incredible.
And
It's
she
really
wasn't even
incredible.
leading the first couple days. I mean, she was lurking. She was in
Yeah.
arm distance, but I mean, it wasn't like she was, on the leaderboard or running away with it or anything like that. It's just,
Yeah. But she's
Yeah.
starting to, she's starting to show off that presence, that aura where if she's around, if she's lurking, she is going to get
Oh
there.
yeah, if
So,
she's two or three shots behind, you're
yeah,
looking at that scoreboard and seeing where she's at.
it
Yeah.
absolutely is instilling fear in the other players for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
It's just that kind of aura where you're just so dominant right now. Can't stop.
Because I think those people ahead of her are like, oh shit, we got to birdie every freaking hole because she's gonna start birdieing and then take the lead. We can't just be getting pars and being
Yeah, I
good
think
with it. So
that's what makes these players like these number ones, these Scotties, these Nellies, make them so next level is if they're just
yeah.
lurking, it's putting so much pressure on everybody else that
Because like
nobody
going
else
into
can handle.
Saturday, I was like, oh man, it doesn't look like she's gonna win it. She kind of faltered a little, but
Yeah.
next thing
No,
you
she took
know,
care of business. Yeah, she took care of it.
she's raising the cup, and it's like, all right,
Yeah.
I'll shut up.
This was with a shaky back nine on the last round too.
Yeah, yeah.
And she still just held on. She's as dialed as it comes right now.
So yeah, no matter what happens the rest of the year, if she wins, zero or six more, definitely phenomenal year. Just
Yeah, she's player of the year
huge.
for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, she's player of
absolutely.
the
So,
year.
PGA Championship.
Yeah, what a first of all,
X gonna
I've
give
been
it to you,
critical.
huh?
Yeah, good for X finally. I mean,
Yeah,
everybody's been waiting for him to finally push through and get that done. Get that done. Because he's just so good. He's been so good for
yeah,
so long. But also Bryson, what a show! I mean, what
dude,
a show that guy put on, man. Going
dude, that
out there
guy.
and
Oh yeah.
balling, just
But I mean,
balling.
it's
So
not like
that was fun.
it's his first time doing it too. I mean, he's been, you
Yeah,
know,
he's been at that level before, but he's still, it's so much fog clouding Bryson from me for
yeah.
sure
But you
because
know what though? I mean, how many? Because I do a bunch of Bryson videos, and I mean, there is something switched with him in the fan base because everyone
yeah,
is pro Bryson right now. I
because
mean, it is
he's
just
I think because
because
he's
what he's doing
matured,
on, well, I was going to say that because what he's doing social media wise and, doing content and stuff like that and doing all these, under 50 challenges and all this kind of stuff, or,
Yeah.
doing the Siri pick a club for me. It's just, it's him being real. And then I just think he's more relatable. He's not just kind of a pompous
Well, he's
ass
not
type
just
of
this,
person. He's
yeah,
just,
he's not this
yeah,
pretentious
it's,
guy out
it's
there that was giving
exactly,
off this
yeah,
horrible aura.
yeah. And then,
So, yeah,
and he did it last year for, when Brooks won, stayed around and congratulated, you know.
yeah,
And then I think just class act for what he did, last Sunday too. He was on the warm up, he was trying to, if he was going to do a playoff or not, but he
hmm
could have just left after that. But he went
yeah,
up to X and, congratulated him.
hmm
Kudos for him. I just think that
yeah,
one, that's sportsmanship. So more people need to see that and talk about that.
yeah,
Um, and then two, yeah, I definitely think his stock is on the uprise. You know,
yeah. I mean, I've been very critical of Bryson since I've watched him because I was just stuck on that guy that was first joining on tour.
right?
Just this pretentious, jerk that was kind of playing on tour, and I wasn't bought into it. But he's really flipping it around. I gained a lot of respect for him this past weekend because he showed that his game is. I mean, and he's always been a top golfer, but he can go out there and he can dominate a field. Really, I mean, he was balling out that whole weekend. So good for him.
Yeah, I mean his distance that he's he's got that crank driver going and he's using the
Yeah,
Pro V left dash. I mean he's definitely shortening up the courses for sure.
yeah, he's
But I
dominating
mean his
courses.
wedge game is pretty good. His putting's pretty good. I mean
Yeah,
he was played pretty solid. I mean if X would have faltered one hole or something, he would
yeah.
have won that thing. So I mean,
Plus, I mean, you hear a guy that shoots 21 under winning, you probably don't think it was a very entertaining PGA or
yeah,
tournament. But that was down to the last
yeah,
putt, It took
yeah.
everything. So good for
Um,
Bryson, good for X for sure, of course.
yeah, no, good for both of them. I think it was good for both of them. And the whole, live PGA thing, that's still not getting. Everyone is just sick and tired of the. It's either settle it
Yeah,
up, do something with it, whatever, and then there's the whole Rory thing about, they didn't want him back on the board, and then, a couple of the, like Jimmy Dunn, one of the, those guys that were
yeah,
on the board is like, there's too many players on the board now, and it's just, I mean, it's all just a shit show, and it's like, figure
it
it
is a
out.
mess. Yeah,
Just
it is a
freaking
mess.
figure it out, get it dealt with, because you're losing people, and
Yeah,
people are going to get tired about it. They're tired of hearing about it. So you need to figure it out and figure it out quick because you can't
yeah,
go into another year of, live PGA, blah blah blah. It's like, you know,
yeah.
I
It's
don't
bad for
know,
the
something.
game. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's bad for the game.
something's got to be done. So,
Just resolve it.
um,
Yeah.
but what about some of the players that didn't make the cut? Are you surprised about people that made the cut or people that didn't make the cut? Like the contenders that were on there, or people who failed.
I mean, I'm really surprised with Rombo. His
I
form
mean,
is
that's just
terrible. You
bad,
know,
right?
it's
Is
terrible, terrible,
is it
terrible.
because he's on live? I don't think so. But
I don't know if it's because he's on live.
everyone's saying because he's playing a 3 day tournament instead of a 4 day.
Yeah, but he's losing in
But I
two
mean,
days.
he's losing in two. So I mean, it's just
Yeah.
you know. But no, I mean, he
I
just
mean,
hasn't played.
it's
He
golf.
hasn't
Everybody
played
goes
good
through bad
majors.
stretches,
Yeah,
but he
yeah,
is not playing good right now. No.
yeah. No, but I mean, you figure he was going to be, even Brooks. I mean, you
Yeah.
figured Brooks was going to be, probably in the top five at least.
Yeah.
Or,
No.
you know, and then obviously Tiger not making the cut. You got,
Yeah.
Jordan Spieth. JT actually had a pretty good tournament this
Yeah.
time.
JT played well.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
JT
I think he
played well.
-9 or something like that. So, I mean,
Yeah, he finished up there.
but
Rory too.
yeah,
Rory had a good
yeah,
tournament, pretty good
yeah.
tournament. So
But yeah, no, even like, um, Phil, DJ, I mean, some of those
yeah,
guys it was bad.
yeah,
So,
not looking great.
but what
But
about
yeah,
Colin? Little pressure gets
I
to
think he
him?
looks great. Yeah, I think he looks great. But it's yeah, I think he you know I think it was an adjustment because when was the last time he was in that kind? It's happened two times now in major tournaments. Um, whereas before when he was winning majors, he was ice cold. Um, but
Yeah.
that was such a big drought in between there where I think pressure's starting to get to him, starting to get a little more adrenaline, starting to get juiced up a little bit, probably too much, and just not having the game be where it needs to be to close these things out. But he
And
looks
then we
good
got to,
though.
yeah, and then we got to talk about it. What about Scotty?
Hey, we got to talk about this,
So
Scotty, dude.
you get arrested, but then he comes out and shoots a 66.
Yeah, no, he's world
So,
number one for a reason, you know.
but then Saturday and Sunday you shit the bed.
Yeah, I didn't play well this weekend, which was weird. I
No.
didn't know why
Yeah.
that happened, but I mean, it's still miles between first and second in terms of golfers, who's number
Yeah.
one and who's number two.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, what a sequence! And did you see the the new footage?
I saw the video, yeah, and it's just, I mean,
It's not the whole thing, but I'd love to know what he did. I don't see where
yeah, and
he
I
ran
just,
over a guy or whatever. I don't see it. Or dragged a police officer.
what's the police officer doing trying to jump on the vehicle or whatever?
Yeah, what is he doing?
What are you doing? And I
Yeah,
don't get
so
it
it's
because I mean,
just.
you got to know it's Scotty Scheffler because I mean, one, it's like a courtesy, they give them courtesy cars, right? And then
Yeah,
two, you got the media right there, telling them it's like, you know, but
yeah.
I
I don't
mean,
like it.
and it
I don't
was,
like it.
and this kind, I've got to, I'm pushing this to the later segment, but I figured we would talk about it at least. Um,
Yeah, we got to bring it up.
but definitely weird. I mean, I don't know,
Really weird.
man. And then
And I really
I
don't like
I
it
did
because
I
it
I didn't think he was gonna shoot good Friday after that, but then he shoots a 66, and I was like, oh shit, okay, he's the number one. I guess he can go to jail, get booked, and then come back and shoot a 66.
couple
But
hours
then he
later
shit,
go drop a
yeah,
66
but then he
in
shits it on
rain.
Saturday and Sunday, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, all right, wait a minute, maybe you should get booked and arrested more often, I guess, if you shoot better.
Little bit. I think it just proves it's a little bit of a distraction. Because how many
Yeah,
people
no,
asked him about his
definitely.
game versus asked him about the incident?
Yeah, yeah. Like
So
just
it's
weird.
distracting
So
for anybody. Still human being, definitely weird. And I
yeah,
didn't like it because it took away a lot from Xander and Bryson and all these guys who are playing ridiculous.
yeah, yeah,
Because everybody's talking about this incident that was ridiculous. So
yeah. NHL. What do you got NHL
yeah,
wise?
down to their final four as well.
Yeah,
Basically, your two best teams are in it. You got Dallas Stars and you got the Rangers. Um, and I think that's what everybody's kind of favoring right now. I didn't see what was
yeah.
the score of the game today, but um, it's gonna see how it plays out. But I think everybody's choosing the Stars versus Rangers right now. See
Stars
them
and
go head to
Rangers.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What are those series at right now?
like in terms of I actually don't know. I think
Yeah,
it's 1-1 for Dallas and was it Florida, and then I think the Rangers might be 2-0
hmm,
in terms of
okay.
their series. I'm not totally sure though, so I'd have to double check.
Major League Baseball.
Yeah, MLB,
So
MLB.
50 games in. We kind of talked about this last time. You're past the quarter of the way of the season. So
Yeah,
you know teams are starting to separate themselves from who's going to be in the playoffs versus who's going to probably start trading in a couple
yeah,
months.
yeah.
So
And your juggernauts and
um,
everything. Yeah,
you get a lot of cold players still. A lot of people hitting in the low twos that shouldn't
yeah,
be. You get a lot of teams underperforming. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, what about the Phillies? Freaking Phillies!
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean,
Everyone's talking Dodgers and Shohei, but what about the Phillies? I mean, you got the top three, and Suarez is what 9-0 with like a one
dude, I
seven
didn't
eight
know.
ERA or
I mean,
something like that.
he's always been damn good, but when did this guy turn into this next level
But
Cy Young? I mean, he's
now
just
you got to go
ridiculous right
against
now.
Nola, Wheeler, and Suarez.
Yeah, have fun with that. It
Yeah,
sucks. It
and then
sucks.
you got to pitch to Brome, Real Muto, you know,
Bryce, yeah,
Bryce. I mean,
it's
it's like,
ridiculous. Trey, yeah,
yeah,
it's ridiculous. Well, Trey's hurt
Jesus.
right now, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Um,
Um, yeah, they're next level.
and like the Braves, I mean, the Braves are pretty good, but I mean, they're so far behind the Phillies. And
Yeah,
I think they're what
pretty
are they,
much.
13? I think the Braves are, I don't know. They're just, I
It's
think
quite
they're
a ways right
13
now, but
games above, but yeah, they're still like 8 games out or 9 games out or whatever. It's like, no,
yeah,
they're
but the
just
Braves are
running a,
still one of the best in the league too.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a hell of a
It's just,
division.
it's
What's
just they're
really
running away with it. So
those two?
I would say
Yeah,
if we could not face the Skeens guy anymore for the rest of the year, I think we would be in good shape. Because
yeah, that kid's not bad.
that guy
That
just
kid's not bad.
gave us a big middle finger and said, "Here, here's my
Yeah,
fastball. You're not going to hit it.
no, he's
I'll, I'll
nasty, and he
I'll
throws
strike out a yeah, I'll strike out 11 and give up a one hitter. Okay, great.
throws that little splinker thing
Yeah,
too, that going
it's like
like 98. Yeah, it's nasty.
so. I mean, good God. But I
Yeah,
mean,
haven't
Pirates,
debuted.
they got a couple young pitchers, man. It's just, but I mean, again, we kind of talked about this before. They always have the young pitching, but then they either can't get the hitting right, and they, end up trading the pitchers. And but I don't know, man. That Paul Skeens guy is for real.
Yeah, he's tough. He gave us a hard time too. We got to him a
Uh,
little bit, but he gave us a hard time too.
yeah, we faced him twice, back to back series. So, um, yeah, I mean, we went on the road trip. We split with Pittsburgh, right? And then, which we could have lost, and then lost 2 out of 3 to Atlanta, which we could have
Yeah,
gotten swept. Then we come home and play Pittsburgh again for 4 games, and we lose 3 out of 4, and we could have lost 4 out of 4 if um, Belly didn't knock the ball out of Bart's hand at the plate. So I mean, we could have lost that, and then the Braves, we lose 2 or 3 with the Braves, and we could have lost all 3 of those games. We win one in extra innings. So, but I
Yeah,
mean, we're
you
just
guys are in poor form.
we're in a bad. In our last 16 starts, the pitchers have a 1.77 ERA,
Yeah. Well, how
and
much
we're
of that is
losing.
Shota though? Does Shota
Well,
barely even has an ERA?
yeah.
He's a
So I
player.
mean, him and Javier Assad,
Assad, yeah,
both
they
those guys.
carry.
So, but yeah, no, our team is just bad right now. So, but yeah, baseball full steam ahead. So
Yeah,
I think I think some of the teams that like you got we just kind of talked about Phillies. You always got the Dodgers. You got Yankees.
yeah,
They're
juggernaut.
doing
Yeah,
their thing. So who's leading in the West? Is it Rangers now?
AL West.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, I think it's still the Rangers, but that
yeah,
doesn't look good. It's not a good division right now
yeah. No, it's not a
because
good
they're under
division right now.
500 and Astros are still not doing good. So yeah,
No, I mean, did you see where they sent Abreu to like A ball or something just so he can
really,
get some at bats? Yeah,
man, yeah, they're kind of in
that's just
shambles.
yeah. But I mean, um, who's the right fielder?
Kyle Tucker,
Tucker. I mean, I think he's leading the league in home runs.
yeah,
So,
he's not bad. Hell of a player.
but yeah, I don't know why that team. I mean, is it because Dusty Dusty
Guess
left?
I guess he was the glue. I don't know what happened there. Yeah.
So yeah, that's crazy. So all right, well, you got anything else sports wise? That it? Soccer? Anything soccer wise?
Well, women are in full sled right now. NWSL, they're in full sled. They're still going. Um, Overall in soccer, I mean, you don't follow it too much, but European
No.
soccer up in Europe, five leagues are over now, but Champions League final is next
God,
Sunday
I
or
can't get into
next
this. There's
Saturday.
just so much. I don't know.
There's a lot. There's a lot of soccer
Yeah,
going on.
yeah.
MLS is still going, so yeah, it's a lot going on. Or I think MLS is. Do they finish? I don't know, but I don't follow MLS too much. But up in Europe, big soccer. That's just about over, and then
All right.
this summer will be big.
Yeah. All right. That's it for sports. What do you got for Hollywood entertainment? Anything? What's
Uh,
going on with Benifer? They
I don't know.
splitting?
I haven't
Not
been keeping up.
splitting?
Yeah, what's the deal there? That's so like
I
foggy with
guess
those two, right?
yeah. They're like not being seen together, and then like Ben's leaving out of a house that J Lo's not in, and then they saw his ring on, and then they didn't see his ring on, and it's just like you know what's going on with the Benifer.
I don't know. It's so weird,
So
It's
yeah.
so much nonsense going on there. But other than that, though, I don't really have anything for Hollywood. It's pretty quiet. Not
Kevin
too crazy.
Costner's what Horizon is that what it's called is coming
Yeah,
out this
cons just
summer.
happened. Oh yeah, cons just happened. That premiere. That's always a big movie premiere.
Yeah,
Um,
so
and I got a big ovation,
um
I guess, at it. So
yeah,
what's going on
so
there? But
um yeah, a bunch of season ending stuff happening right now this month, right? For
yeah,
first season stuff. So
yeah,
um then NCIS is coming out with something called what is it? Origin or something like that, I think it is. Where I
really
think it ties back to like Gibbs and Ziva and Denozo and stuff like that, but I haven't really heard too much about it. I saw something, but
interesting.
then I was like, oh. Dude, what
Interesting.
about Beyonce's country song? Have you heard that?
Which one?
Or
She
I
dropped a
mean,
whole album.
yeah, I mean, she has a whole album, but what's that? What's the main one?
I think it's called
Um,
like the Saint Texas or something like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Have you heard that song?
Well, yeah, of course. It's everywhere. Of course, I've heard it.
But I didn't realize that was actually her.
Yeah, she dropped a whole country album. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, and I listened to the song the other day for the first time. I was like, yeah, that's pretty good, you know?
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah,
It's
I
catchy.
like it. And what's the other one? She's Sahizi or something like that. The bar song.
Oh, I don't really know. I don't think
Yeah,
I've really
yeah.
listened to it that much, but
Oh,
it was a
and
big
then there
deal.
was a thing on um, Swifty. I guess she's overdoing the European tour right now.
Hmm.
I guess they're saying like 2.9 billion that 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 they're the economy is growing because of Swifty over there.
It's
You know,
wild.
and
It's really
I
wild.
guess some people like there was a dad and daughter. It was cheaper for them to get a ticket and fly and do a hotel and go over there than it was to get a ticket here in the U.S. and see her here local.
That's
Just because of
ridiculous. That's
yeah,
insane.
it's just crazy. So, but yeah, the Swifty economics is just unbelievable.
Fully
So
taken over. It's pretty wild. Yeah.
just crazy. Again, she gets a ton of hate too, but I've never understood why she gets so much hate. But
No, she's global, man. She's as big
yeah,
as they
she's
come.
global. She's
She's probably the biggest
making
there
money.
is right
She's
now. Okay.
she's creating money. I mean, yeah, I mean, you think we're inflation and there's a down economy, but how many people are going to see Swifty? There's a lot of
Yeah, she's
people.
single-handedly
Yeah,
trying to pull us out of it.
yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Jesus. Or if people weren't spending tickets to go see her, maybe everyone would have more money, right? So I don't know.
Yeah. Who
You know,
knows? Yeah. It's pretty
but
wild.
all right, and then we'll dig into our last segment real quick. We got to be better. You got anyone? What do you got?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I got
Oh,
one. I
okay.
got one. I'd like to dedicate this first one to Coach Michael Malone. Michael Malone
You have been
talking.
dissing on the Nuggets last couple times,
It's not really the Nuggets so much, but just these two. Because Mike Malone, you lose in a game 7 that you could have won, but you
man.
lose in a game 7,
Yeah.
and then when you're asked about losing the game, you go and bark out at the reporter, complaining and crying and whining. When all before, when everything was high and mighty, all was good, and you were running your mouth, saying this and that about other teams, talking your talk, which is fair because you were winning. And now that you're down, you want to yell at reporters for asking about the ball game. That is pathetic, in my opinion. And it
Yeah,
showed their character really in that series.
I
That
mean,
whole series was ugly.
you're a head coach. You got to be able to. I mean, you know you're going to get heat,
Yeah,
and you're the defending champs. So I mean, you got to be able to take it on the chin. I mean, you know, you're going to get asked, shitty questions or tough questions. You got to be able to just stand up there and just say, yeah, you know what, we didn't, do it this time. You know,
you're their
but
leader. You're the team's leader.
but yeah, to be
Simple as
barking
that.
back and being shitty to reporters, that's just
And this comes
that's
after he was running on the court, screaming at the
yeah,
referees, acting like a
yeah,
child too. So it
yeah.
was a poor, poor look from one of the league's best coaches. So he needs to be better for sure. So
Okay.
I got him down there. Um, and I think that's probably it for me
Okay,
overall.
so I got the Cubs offense
Yeah,
because we are bad right now. I mean, we scored what 2 runs in that series against the Braves. I mean, we are just it is just shit. No one's
yeah.
hitting. No one, we're not scoring runs. We're not getting on. And then if we do get on, I mean, we're just leaving guys on. It's just every single position is just bad right now offensively. And
It's
I
really
don't
interesting.
know.
We have switched roles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, because we were the best offense, on fire at the beginning of the season, and now we got to be the worst offense. I mean, we
yeah.
cannot score, or if we score 1 run, and then again, pitchers are starters are 1.7 ERA. That means
Yeah,
less than 2 runs a game. But you know what? We can't score 2 runs a game.
yeah. It's poor form right now.
And we're in a tough stretch right now because, well, we got rained out tonight, but St. Louis and then Milwaukee the next series.
Yeah, it's a
So,
big series too.
and we're not going to win those games by scoring 1 run. So something needs to happen with the offense. You can't blame the bullpen. You can't blame the starters. You know, everyone is coming back now. You got pretty much all the starters back. You know, you guys are all, I get that, you didn't have Nico, you didn't have Dansby, you didn't have Belly. Okay, now everyone's back. You didn't have, Suzuki. Now everyone's back, and you're still not scoring runs.
Yeah,
So, Craig, I know you're not used to not scoring runs, but you got to score some runs somehow.
yeah,
So, Cubs offense, shitty. Umpires, White Sox and Orioles game.
yeah.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
Did
I
you
don't
see the
know.
play?
Yeah, I saw it. It's
No
I just
way,
I don't
no
understand.
how was that interference.
I don't understand it. You know me and umpires and referees and stuff like
I
that.
mean,
So,
but it is getting bad. And I always try to give them the benefit of the doubt because you know it's real life. It's how to the guy's throwing 102 mile an hour fastball. Are you going to be able to see it if it goes over the black or is it a little outside? Okay, but you got four guys out there plus you got replay. I mean, what the hell are you guys doing? You know, to where
I
you
have
guys
no
can't get
idea.
together and make a correct call?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
that
have
is
no
just
idea.
piss poor. You know,
It's pathetic. It's really it's overtaking the players in the game at this point,
yeah.
and it's
No, I
that's what
mean,
bothers me.
and these are going to be. You get into some, fall, and playoffs and stuff like this, and if
Hmm.
stuff like that happens, I mean, that just can't happen.
Yeah,
So I mean, Joe, Torrey, or Theo, whoever, or MLB or in the MLB union and the umpires association, you guys all got to get better because this is dog shit.
yeah. Figure it out.
So yeah, so but that was just the worst ever. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Lou, I'll say this, but again, not getting racial or political, but Louisville PD, I think you got to do a little better. I don't think you're going to get another golf tournament at Valhalla anymore, you know,
Yeah. Louisville PD ain't. Yeah. No.
because this was
Uh.
this was the same PD that
Right.
went in and
Yeah.
did the whole search warrant thing and
Right.
killed. Yeah. So this is
They've
the
been under
same.
scrutiny before.
Yeah. So now you have this going on. It's just, what are you guys doing? I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, again, I don't want to get political or I don't want to get,
Yeah.
into, racially into it, but I mean, that is just, that's bad. You know, you,
Yeah. It's not a
you
great
know,
look for them.
no.
Need to figure it out over
Um,
there.
yeah, but, I don't think you're going to have another tournament there ever, you know, not another golf tournament.
Not PD.
So,
I
yeah,
think a tournament could happen, but I don't think they'll have to bring in some other jurisdiction or something to take care of it.
yeah. Um, WNBA, we kind of talked about that with the whole um, instant investigation of the Las Vegas thing, which, we
Mm,
kind of talked about. So I just didn't
right.
like that. I mean, push more cities to do it. I think it would
Yeah.
be all good. TNT inside the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's
next season is
ridiculous.
going to be the last season, dude, right? So 2025, I think they said,
I think it's this season.
or is it this season?
I think it starts next year. Yeah.
So you're going to lose out on Chuck, Kenny, Ernie, and Shaq, which has
For
been,
possibly. It's not official, but possibly. Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
but I mean, people watch those guys too. So there's not, they're watching the basketball game.
I
They're
think
wanting
it's
to,
the number one rated sports show
yeah, because I mean,
in America. Yeah.
they want to know what Chuck is going to say. They want to know what stupid stuff Chuck is going to say. They want to see Kenny
Yeah.
fall running up to the freaking, screen, and then, Shaq is Shaq, and Ernie's trying
Yeah.
to, parent all three of them. It's like,
Yeah.
that foursome is the best around. It's kind of like
They
when they
are
broke up, what, Breen, um, um,
Breen Jackson
Van
and
Gundy and
SVG. Yeah.
Jackson, and yeah, those guys.
Yeah.
It was just, you know, I mean, that was a good
JB.
group. This, I mean. what are you guys doing?
This is a perfect blend for everybody. This is entertainment. This is high
Yeah,
quality analysis of sports because you have two Hall of Famers and a world champion, two-time world
yeah.
champion on your panel, and a Hall of Famer in Ernie too. So I don't know what they're doing. I guess Chuck is saying that his production company might just buy it and move them over, but Ernie's saying he's committed to TNT still. So it's
Yeah,
all up in the
Ernie's a
air.
big TNT guy, but I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, who's getting the rights for the NBA? Is it ESPN? Is
It's
who I thought
ESPN,
I saw?
Amazon, and NBC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just
Technically, TNT can still go in and match the bid, but everyone's saying it's not going to happen. So,
well, not
yeah.
when you got you know ESPN and NBC getting into it. I mean, that's just
Well,
you
and
know,
plus, like TNT, I guess, and the NBA had a big funk like last year, a couple years ago too. I guess with their media rights. So it is
so
ridiculous. They need
yeah,
to get it sorted.
that's just bad. I mean, if they lose out on that, that's just you know.
It's a huge,
And
huge
Chuck has
loss.
always been like I mean, I think did he get an offer from Live? Did he get an
Hmm.
actual offer from? He got an
Hmm.
actual offer from Live. Turned them
Hmm.
down because he wanted to. He was
Stay
loyal to
with TNT.
TNT,
Yeah.
and then you guys do this. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
like you know. And Chuck
And
would
Chuck
do
made a great
great.
point.
He would do great on the
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
commentating because everyone loves
Yeah.
listening to Chuck. I mean, I love it. So,
And Chuck made a good
um,
point too. This isn't just about those four guys. It's also about all that crew and the staff that helped make that show
yeah,
what it is too. So,
yeah.
yeah, it's a big loss.
I mean, that's just yeah. It's just when I heard that, I was like, oh man, that is just I don't know. I don't
It sucks. Yeah.
it's just a huge loss. It's like it's just it. I mean, you think of basketball and you think of you know commentating. I mean, you automatically think of those four guys. It's just like
Yeah.
now if they're split, it's like okay, And Ernie does some other, he does what baseball too. I think he does some other
Yeah.
sports
A little
too and
bit.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I mean, but I mean, it's just I don't know, man. I'd hate to see
That
all
is.
four of them be on different platforms, and it's just
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, that's the best sports show in the world. So
yeah.
it's pretty devastating for sure.
So yeah, so that's what I had on my list. I thought I had something else, but I don't remember what it was. But I didn't. I thought about it earlier, and I didn't
I
write it
got one
down.
last
So
one, and this one's hard to swallow, but I got one last one for gotta be better. I'm gonna do myself. I gotta be better because a couple weeks back when we did our last show, I think it was our last show, I criticized Matt Chapman specifically because he wasn't hitting and he was leading the league in errors.
yeah,
And since then, seemingly, that guy has single handedly saved us, I think, like 4 games. So, when in doubt, trust the gold glove. I gotta be better. I take blame for that one.
yeah. But I would say trust a Gold Glove. But I got four Gold Glovers on our team. That's just I
Trust
need
me,
that
man,
glove.
you don't wanna be in my
I
position.
I need
Careful.
that glove. I need that. Well, I would gladly be in your position of having to eat crow later in a couple of weeks because
Yeah.
they're doing good. Hey, I'm all for it. But when they're just shit in the bed right now, and all four of those guys, it's like, what are you guys doing? You can only field, you can't hit.
Yeah.
So you gonna get a Gold Glove, but you're not gonna get a Silver Slugger. It's like,
Yes, so.
come on, figure it out.
Yeah. I just
But
had to say that because Matt Chapman, he made another game winning play again today. And he's
well, and
proven
then
he's probably the best third baseman in the league. Third defensive third baseman in the league. He's
over
ridiculous.
Nolan.
Well, it's probably neck and neck with Nolan. Yeah, you probably. I think if you chose one or the other, you can't really go wrong. But
Well, then didn't Bailey hit a grand slam tonight?
yeah, we came back again. We were down 4.
Yeah,
We came back yet again. That's 3 games in a row. That's history right there.
yeah,
I
but
would love if we just wouldn't go down 4 runs.
yeah,
But if
and
that's what
then
if that's the spark you need, then whatever.
well, and then that Pittsburgh series, I think you guys blew one because I mean, would they score 4 runs in the ninth or something?
Yeah, because
Pittsburgh one
Marco made
night.
an error. If
Yeah,
somebody needs to be better, Marco needs to be a better fielder because he's killing me. He made two
yeah.
again today.
I don't want to hear about fielding. I don't want
Yeah,
to hear about hitting.
yeah.
Just
No, we're in
right
good. We're in
now.
a good stretch. Outside of the Phillies, I
Yeah.
think we're the next hottest team in the league right now. So good stretch.
Somehow we're still, I think, 4 games above 500. But I mean, we could easily be 10 games under here in about a week and a half
I think
if
you're
we don't
three.
hit.
You're 27 and 24, aren't you? I think you are because we are 26 to 26, and I think we're like a game or a half game, game and
Yeah,
a half out of you.
yeah. That's great. So
Yeah,
yeah,
told you.
so that's what 2 weeks does. Fucking
Yep, that's baseball.
baseball season. Yeah, yeah.
But
So.
anyways, that's all I got. That's all I got for Gotta Be Better.
All right, guys, that's all we got. Thank you. Hit the subscribe and like button, and we'll keep getting better each time. All right,
Yeah.
peace out.